Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted, The Lost Legacy Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 2, also known as Infiltration. And in chapter 1, as you all know, we met up Nadine at the top of the Pink Lotus, and now we're gonna continue on our quest. And we're going to the main antagonist of this game, a dude named Asav, something like that. I'm not quite sure how they pronounce it. But he has a little disc that Chloe thinks is the key to getting the Tusk of Ganesha, or the Tusk of Ganesh. So we are gonna get into his base of operations and steal it. As treasure hunters do. We all know Nate is no stranger to stealing stuff when it suits his motives. And I think these signs that we just climbed over there are a recurring thing in this city, and it's a nice change up to the yellow ledges and white ledges we have gotten used to in this game series. And using light is also a classic way in games to make you know which way you're supposed to go, to get a gamer to follow the light. Used in a lot of games and also in this one. And during this chapter I will also show you how to pick up a random trophy in this game, because these zip lines that we're gonna go up on right now, I think there are 4 of them, and if you ride all 4 of them during this chapter you will get the trophy Drop Me a Line. And as always, I will not be doing any of the collectibles. You can see there was a collectible in there, so there, I helped you get it. But if there are any other random trophies along the way that I know how to unlock, I will help you unlock them. And or at least tell you how to unlock them, even if I may or may not use the strategies or techniques myself during this walkthrough. Because the main focus is for me to help you get through this game on its highest difficulty and hopefully unlock some good stuff along the way. And I actually had some trouble recording this chapter because we're gonna get into a fist fight later on. And I mentioned it before, and they changed the dodging button in this game. Because to punch enemy is just press the square button like it's been in all the games after Uncharted 1. In Uncharted 1 you could do the brutal combo, which is really sad they skipped that technique further on in the game series, but there's nothing to do about that. So but here you press circle to dodge, and that caused me some trouble because I'm not quite sure why they changed it, because they have done 3 games. I don't know if it was to get in the rope swinging ability, but I'm not a big fan of when they have a control scheme through the better part of a series and they suddenly change it. I think that's a bit unnecessary. There are other things they could have done instead. But here is our first or our second bad guy. He goes over that little ledge. And in this episode I have also started trimming out the lockpicking. I mentioned in chapter 1 that I think that the lockpicking is quite unnecessary mechanic to put in the game, because it's extremely basic. You cannot fail it. Your lockpick can't break or anything like that. You just press the button and just swirl around until you get it unlocked. So it's very unnecessary for me to keep in the walkthrough. It will beat down the flow of the video, so I will trim them out as we go along. But now we are in the office of Asav, and the thing you want to do is take that piece of paper off the board on the wall. Can't remember what they're called. And you will go over to this lockbox, and once again she will lockpick, and we will get slammed with some exposition, and now this chapter really takes off. And the enemy's damage output. Here's, by the way, another zipline. I follow the path I choose to get, drop me a line. But the damage output on the enemies on this chapter is lower than it is in the rest of the chapters on this difficulty, because this would be more or less unbeatable if they had the full damage output that they do on crushing. You saw me right there, really close to death. And I think that is a great thing that they put in here. Because... and also, it's still dangerous, because if you take 1 or 2 seconds too long to get over a wall or something like that, you will die. But I think the checkpoints are quite close together. And now we're gonna get into a fist fight. This fist fight actually took me 2 attempts just due to the control scheme being different from what I'm used to. But there are only 3 enemies and they go down quite quickly, and we can continue onwards. See that right? That sign on the left? That shows us that's where we're supposed to go. And I'm not quite sure how the damage output is in the rest of the game. Here is the zipline that you might miss if you don't follow this walkthrough. So make sure to take the second right when you get to that roof. And here you're gonna see a little transition right there, because I got shot down. And I'm not quite sure how the damage output on crushing is in this game in relation to, for example, Uncharted 4. Because I haven't played Uncharted 4 in months. But some guy I watched on YouTube talking about it, I think he thought that it was a bit lower in this game. But we have gotten to the end of chapter 2 and also the end of this episode, so I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.